So the initial storms passed. It's a bit later in the day now. I'm recording this when the reveal trailer was launched on that same day. It's a bit later on in the day now. I've had some time to gather my thoughts and give my first impressions. I've pretty much researched everything there is to research about this game, from the DLC to the cars to like everything. I've looked into this ridiculously now, and I feel like I've got a fair judgment on what I can think of the reveal. Now, this video isn't going to be talking about the gameplay. It's not going to be talking about, you know, customization, those kind of things. Maybe a bit on customization, but, you know, nothing on the actual gameplay. For me to discuss about the gameplay, I need to see gameplay, and more than that, I kind of need to play it, really. But I will be giving gameplay impressions, obviously, once gameplay has released. For now, I'm just going to focus on everything we know, you know, regarding the story, regarding the tone, regarding the off-road cars, and my worries, you know, what I'm looking forward to, because I have got worries. I've got pretty big worries, especially regarding the off-roading. But anyway, let's go ahead and start this off on a positive. I've got to say the story mode is looking great, giving me really strong Fast and Furious 1 and 2 vibes. I've seen that's like a reoccurring thing during the comments. Doesn't really remind me of the later Fast and Furious. I'm seeing a lot of people comparing this to the Fate of the Furious. Not really. I don't feel like it's over the top like that. I feel like when I saw the RTR Mustang going straight into the back of that lorry, it kind of reminded me of the 4 green Civics with the neon, you know, heisting the DVDs in the original Fast and Furious. That's what the vibe I got from that, which isn't a bad thing. That's a great thing, in fact. The fact the story is more focused, and, you know, that it's like we actually have a proper storyline this time, and it's not just, hey man, let's race. That's great. So in terms of the story mode, you know, in terms of you being a guy called Tyler, who recruits his crew, you've got a wheelman, you've got, you know, the racer guy, and then you've got another guy. I think that's good. I like the way they're doing the story mode. I think it suits the game great. From the vibes that I've been given off this reveal trailer and all the teaser images, I'm liking it. I'm liking the fact there's an actual, like, goal in the story mode. It's not just doing nothing. I like how it all leads up to a final big heist. I'm liking all of that. It, you know, it makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. It reminds me a lot of Undercover, like I've said before. In Undercover, you had to steal cars. That was one of the main parts of that game, was that, you know, the main, like, boss missions were about stealing the cars and getting away from the police. So if there's anything like that in the next one, that's going to be really good. I think the step away from real life cutscenes is also very good, because that now allows the possibility for your cars to actually be moving during cutscenes, for characters to be stepping in and out of cars. It just makes a lot more sense, really. You know, when you're doing it in real life, there's limitations you can put, but I could literally see a character get run over now, and it means not, like, it's not gonna have any limitations. You could have a character get run over. It's probably not gonna happen, but it's just an example of something which could happen, which couldn't happen because of the live action cutscenes in Need for Speed 2015. It just gives them more freedom, basically, is the easy way of explaining it. You know, in the cutscenes they can do a lot more things which are a lot more risky, which they couldn't do with real people. Audi are back. That's really cool in itself. We haven't seen Audi in a Need for Speed game since Rivals, obviously, because obviously they weren't in 2015, because we saw the S-Line badge in one of the trailers. So that, hopefully that means an R8, hopefully that means Liberty Walk R8s and RS4s and stuff, hopefully. The return to hypercars, again, I was one of those people that wasn't really fond of hypercars being in a Need for Speed game, but the way they've done it, the way, you know, the heist, you know, story mode is set up, the way, you know, the game's kind of portrayed itself, it works given the context. You know, if it was a Need for Speed 2015, I don't think it would work. If, you know, you had a Huayra in Need for Speed 2015, it just wouldn't make a lot of sense. But, you know, with the whole point of this game, you know, being a heist, being stealing cars, being gambling, you know, being Vegas, it makes a lot more sense to have it in this game. Huayra BC, Regera, all those cars look sick. I'm hoping that there's customization for all cars, and that was one of my main issues with Need for Speed 2015, was the fact that not all cars had customization. So I'm hoping that in the next game, all the cars have customization. You know, I'm hoping the Huayra BC has like a stupid ghost like wide body that looks like a Liberty Walk kit. I'm hoping the Regera has ridiculous wide fenders which make it look ridiculous, because that is Need for Speed to me. Obviously it's cool we're getting the story mode and stuff, but, you know, in my heart, in my core heart, Need for Speed is still about street racing and about racing, and it's about customizing your car to make it feel like your own. So I'm just hoping that that doesn't change. I want to touch on off-roading for a bit, because I think this is my main worry with the game. I'm really excited for it, don't get me wrong, but there's just something about this off-roading thing which I'm not sure how I feel about it, and the classes overall. So I love the fact they've kept Street and Drift. I think that's needed. I think that's very much needed. Hopefully there's not any restrictions on what races you can do with what class, because I would like just to run one main car throughout the game. I mean, it's cool, yeah, I get having restrictions, and I'm hoping that cars aren't restricted to certain classes like the crew is. For example, in the crew, I know you couldn't take an R34 in, or well, not an R, let's say hypothetically, at the start of the game, you couldn't take an R34 into perf spec until they added it as an update. I'm hoping everything's open at the start and there's no need for me to wait for an update. But anyway, but going back to Dirt, I'm just hoping it's not forced onto me, really. I've talked about this before in previous videos. I was never the person in Horizon to vote for the cross-country race. I was always the one that wanted to race on asphalt, and I'm hoping that doesn't change in the next one. I don't want to have to be forced to drive off-road. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it being in Horizon. I'm sick of it being in the crew. I just give me asphalt. That's all I need is asphalt. So as long as it's not pushed on me, that's fine. I get it if there's 1 or 2 missions here and there, you know, where you've got to steal a car off-road and it's an off-road Camaro you've got to steal. I get that. That's fine. But if it's pushed on me too much, like it is in Horizon, you know, where there's cross-country races, if it's pushed on me too much like the crew, where you've got raid spec PvP races and all that kind of thing. I mean, PvP races I can understand a bit more. I just don't want it to be pushed upon me, because I don't want to really do that. That's my main worry with the game, is just the off-road thing. It doesn't really seem like Need for Speed. When I think of off-roading, I don't think of illegal street racing. I think of the crew. I think of Horizon being happy going across fields at 200 miles per hour. I'm just hoping that they nail that, because honestly, that's my biggest issue at the moment. Obviously, that's like my main worry. That should say a lot, that the off-roading is my main worry for the game. You know, obviously you got your physics and your netcode, but I feel like they kind of have to fix those. If they don't, they can't do a lot of what they're saying they're going to do. So realistically, I'm looking really forward to it. I'm looking really excited for Need for Speed. Need for Speed, you know, it's always got a special place in my heart. It's one of those games that I grew up with. I've got literally every single Need for Speed behind me in that corner over there. You can't see it, it's off camera. It's behind me there. I've got every single like Need for Speed game ever. I love Need for Speed. It's one of my favourite franchises of all time, up there with Midnight Club and Burnout. And I'm looking forward to it. I really, really am. I've got a few doubts about, you know, the off-roading. I'm gonna have to see how that works. But for the majority, I'm looking really forward to it. Gritty storyline, check. Cops, check. Customization, check. A bigger car list, check. There's a lot of things which they've already checked off the tick list, and this is only a reveal trailer. And I cannot wait to see what comes around at EA Playtime, because it's gonna get a lot better, let's put it that way. And in addition to that, we've also got the Crew 2 coming out, we've got GT Sport coming out, all the games at E3 are gonna be announced. We've got a lot of things coming to the racing game genre over the next year, and again, I just can't wait. Dirt 4 comes out next week. It's just mad, to be honest. And Need for Speed, to me, I think it's going to be my game of the year. I've got a real strong feeling it's going to be my game of the year. That or the Crew. Honestly, one of the two. I think it's between that or the Crew is going to be my game of the year. And I just... words cannot describe my excitement for these two games. So with that being said, that's it for now. I don't want to ramble on too much. I feel like I've said everything I need to say. I'm really excited for the next game, getting strong Undercover vibes, and that's definitely a good thing, because Undercover had the best story mode in Need for Speed history, in my opinion. But anyway, that's it from me. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to go ahead and hit the like, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. You guys have an awesome, stay safe, and peace.